plumbing off the floor. We did it all in 1 week. And at that time, my little boy, he's 7 now, just turned 7 last week, and he was 2 at that time. And as soon as we finished, it was a Sunday night, I head back out on the road on Monday morning. A Sunday night, it was like about 8 o'clock at night, and finally got everything back in there, and I sit down at the kitchen table, and I'm just looking. I'm so excited to look at my new kitchen because my little boy with the marker in his hand, he's running up to the cabinets, and I could not smack his hand fast enough. I was like, you got to get out of here. But it's a nice feeling when it gets done, though, you know.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
Is it coming along?
It is coming. We've got a painter upstairs right now, and he is using the Sherwin-Williams.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably using Duration or Emerald.
I'll have to go.
Yeah.
Now you sparked my curiosity.
Yeah. I'm curious too.
Yeah. But
she's gonna crush that painter when she gets home. She'll get like, so what are you using? What's the drive? What's the time on that?
We're into it now. I'm not going to bother him.
If you need to take the tile home to show him the accolade over the top of that tile right there.
Look at me and scratch his head and say, really?
So this is equivalent to your Emerald and Duration at your end. You'll get that question a lot, and that's something. Do me a favor. Can you Duration? Jot down things that I need to send you. So one is the 10 questions that to ask every DIY painter, and then a cross-reference. So I have a cross-reference sheet that I can send you guys that you can laminate and keep behind your paint counter, and it shows you where our paint lines up against Sherwin-Williams, Lowe's, Depot, Ace, all of them. So it kind of gives you a breakdown of where everything is at.
And the fourth sheen.
What's that?
The fourth sheen of velvet. That's the other thing I got.
Yeah, fourth sheen of velvet, yeah. So we'll get that over to you as well.
How many bases are there?
What's that?
How many different acrylic bases?
4 tint bases.
4 bases and 4 sheens?
4 sheens, correct. So bright white, pastel.
16 SKUs.
Yeah, 16.
16 SKUs. Absolutely.
Because when they brought that in, I remember they didn't tell us they were bringing it in.
Yeah.
And it just sat there and nobody knew anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, I helped do that launch here. I think the problem was that was right when you guys were in the midst of, right when Orm took over, really. And you guys were still so segmented. You didn't have as much overflow of everybody in any department, all hands on deck. You know, so I know we trained 3 or 4 people. The one gentleman, Eubanks was his name. Tom Eubanks.
He was the paint guy.
Yeah. So he was one of the ones, him and I, and we headed up the training, and we probably just didn't get the message out as good as we should, which is why it's great that we're doing it now. So.
Nobody told me I didn't know how to make paint. Because it used to be, someone needs paint mix.
You used to work just back in the back of Power Equipment, right? Is that where you were? Were you all over? Have you? Okay. Okay. So we're gonna jump over to Best Look now. Okay. So I was smarter. I first started bringing all the stuff back here. I was bringing gallons, and I'm thinking, why the hell am I bringing gallons back here? It's easier to bring quarts, right? Quarts is the same. So we're talking about.
Guy, you listening.
I know. That's right. See,
Harold, look at you paying attention.
You learned something.
Are you brown nosing the teacher right now?
So we're going to Best Look. Best Look makes up 70% of the paint sales out of Do It Best, which is incredible. If all my members were going to bring in just one line of paints, this would be it. Reason being, can't get this anywhere other than Do It Best. It's exclusive to Do It Best, so they can't go down the street to Ace, they can't go to Lowe's, Depot, anywhere. Get this. Exclusive to Do It Best. This is an incredible product for the price. The value of what is in this can is unbelievable. So we talked about Accolade being equivalent to Duration and Emerald at Sherwin-Williams. So he's going to edit this video and bleep this out, so I'm not supposed to be telling you guys this. But when you look at Best Look is equivalent to Super Paint at Sherwin-Williams. Super Paint at Sherwin-Williams cost anywhere between $55 to $65 a gallon.
Is that Super Paint on the cross-reference sheet?
Yes.
Okay.
$55 to $65 a gallon. You guys are selling it in the low 30s. that shows you how much markup there is at the Sherwin-Williams store. Sherwin-Williams, they do 90% professional, 10% DIY, which you guys are probably the complete opposite. So when Sherwin-Williams is running their big 40% off sale, which they run every couple months, DIYers flock there. They're still not buying it as cheap as what the contractors are buying it at. That's just the way it is. But Super Paint is best look. So if you look here, again, 4 sheens: flat, eggshell, satin, and semi-gloss. Okay. Super Paint is your flat. It's on the cross-reference sheet. It's going to say Super Paint, but flat, eggshell, semi-gloss. Your satin is cashmere from Sherwin-Williams, and it's not comparable to cashmere. It is cashmere from Sherwin-Williams. I had a call from a member about 4 years ago. They ordered some paint, and it came in. It's got the little Sherwin-Williams earth symbol on it, and it says cashmere. I'm like, oh, that's odd. So I called my contact Sherwin-Williams, like, hey, cat's out of the bag. So that is low luster cashmere. Cashmere is $65 a gallon at Sherwin-Williams. It's unreal. This is a great value for your customers. So don't think that because it's a private label that it's a cheap paint. We don't sell anything cheap. We sell some stuff that's inexpensive, but we don't sell anything cheap. And it is not a cheap paint. It's a great paint. Majority of my house was, when we first moved in, was Valspar paint from Lowe's. So as we started doing rooms, and then I came over to Do It Best, started painting more and more rooms. And again, right now, we're gonna, when we tint some paint, you guys are gonna be tinting some paint for my house. My wife painting my son's room right now. But it was, majority of our house was Best Look eggshell. So the difference between the sheens, we'll get into that a little bit. Everything you need to know about Best Look. So this is on the quart, but on the gallons, these are called the ears of the paint can. Okay, the little thing where the handle, the barrel goes in, those called the ears of the paint can. Everything you need to know is underneath those ears of that paint can. So if you look here, it says what this paint will do, so the characteristics of the flat paint. So when would you use a flat paint as opposed to a semi-gloss? Anybody?
To hide like blemishes, like nicks, scrapes.
Like reflection on a rough surface.
Exactly. What's that?
The base coat.
Base coat, yeah. So we talked about light reflecting off it. The higher the sheen, the more light bounces off it. So if you go in the apartment buildings, like here, it's all flat paint in here. Apartment buildings, you're always painting flat. It hides the imperfections in the wall. It touches up the best. So when somebody's remodeling a house, a contractor's flipping a house, or they are a property management, they'll paint flat on the walls because they paint the walls. They'll come in and do all the sheetrock work, paint it, and the next thing you know, you got the carpet guys coming in with a 20-foot roll of carpet, and they swing around the corner, and they put a big nick in the wall, right? So the painter's going to come back and touch that up. Flat's going to touch up better than any other product. It's going to blend and touch up better than all of them. It's going to hide the imperfections. So the problem with flat is you can't bear down and scrub on it as well as semi-gloss or satin. So the higher the sheen, the more you can scrub on it and clean it, and the more protection there is for the wall. Okay? So right here on this side, it gives the characteristics of this flat paint. So it says, hides minor imperfections, excellent coverage and hide, excellent touch-up, washable with easy stain removal. So that's just washable. So now, when you jump up to eggshell, which has a little bit of a shininess to it, right? So it's not a flat, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. Elegant low sheen, excellent coverage and hide, excellent scrubbability and stain resistance. This says washable, anything above it says scrubbable. So you really can't scrub. You can scrub that flat acrylic all day. If it's cured fully, I'm confident you can. Okay? This, you're only going to want to wash it flat. You're not going to want to bear down and scrub it. Okay?
So that's a pretty good selling point for the Accolade then. If somebody wants the flat sheen, but they want to be able to scrub it,
Yep.
you can move right into the Accolade flat and,
Yep.
and
So
sell it as a scrub.
if somebody's looking for a flat, I would the first thing I would say is, well, the Accolade is a scrubbable flat. None of our other paints are a scrubbable flat. You can talk about that. Flat sheens are actually coming back right now. A lot of the matte finishes are hot right now. But on the other side of this, it tells you where under the other ear, it shows you where they recommend using this product. So this one says family rooms, dining rooms, and bedrooms. Okay? So we're going to jump up to satin here. And it says under areas to use it. High traffic areas, doors, trim cabinets, kitchens and bathrooms, children's rooms, basements and laundry rooms. So these places that get moisture, get a lot more use. These are the ones where you're going to have to bear down and scrub on it.
I see that can.
So when you're painting a wall, that sheen is what's protecting that wall. Okay? If you're in the kitchen and you're eating spaghetti and some slopping against the wall, if there's a sheen in there, that sheen is protecting that sauce or whatever it is from soaking into the wall. So you go back and scrub it right off. Where if you have a flat and there's no sheen there, it's going to soak right into the wall. So that's why you want to use satin, semi-gloss, and that's why our whole house is either velvet from Accolade or Best Look Eggshell, because it's a softer finish. When we moved into our house, every single room had wallpaper. Every room. I spent a month scraping wallpaper off to the point where my hands were all it was horrible, right? So then a lot of it, especially my kitchen had wallpaper. They plastered over wallpaper and then put another coat of wallpaper on. So it was down to the paper. So I had to re-skim coat all my walls, and I'm not the best at that. So there are some imperfections. You see some swirl marks and stuff in my walls. So I wanted something that I could scrub, but I also wanted something that was going to hide a lot of that, and that's where Eggshell came into play, because it doesn't have a super high sheen, so it's going to cover that stuff, but it has enough of a sheen where we can scrub it. So that's why we used Eggshell in our house. Eggshell is the most popular. I don't know. What do you guys sell more, Eggshell or satin?
I would say Eggshell.
Eggshell. It's different. So every store I go into, some sell more satin, some sell more Eggshell. So it's either or, but Eggshell is more popular right now because it's a softer sheen. So just the characteristics. So we'll talk about tint banks. So in Accolade we said you had bright white, pastel, deep, and neutral. In Best Look you have bright white, ultra white, extra deep, and neutral. Okay? So I'm going to use your eyes again because you have cheater glasses. My mother-in-law got me reading glasses for Christmas because I'm starting to have a hard time. That was real nice. You know what else she got me? A scale. So what are you trying to tell me? I can't see and I'm fat. That's what she was.
God love her. God love her, you know.
But so bright white. What does it say underneath that bright white?
Maybe tinted or used as packaged.
So your bright white in Best Look can be tinted or used as a white. Okay. Once you put that in front of your screen, you can show it. Your ultra white. What does that say?
Maybe tinted or used as packaged.
So your Best Look and your Color Solutions, you have two different whites over there. You have a bright white and an ultra white. Both of them can be used as whites. The difference is your bright white is a cleaner, crisper white. Your ultra white is grayed down just a touch, so that's going to hide a little bit better. So if somebody's looking for a wall paint in white, I would steer them to ultra white all day. If they're looking for trim paint, I would use bright white because it's a cleaner, crisper white.
When I first got in the hardware business, the men that trained me on paint said that you always put a single drop of black into the white bases, even if they want white. Mm-hmm. Is there any reasoning for that or truth behind that? Or
that's it.
Huh?
It's just for hide. Oh, you
okay.
Want me to teach the class? It's just to hide. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. There's high hiding white in your exterior. So I could bring an exterior.
That's the question, because I've had more than one customer asking the difference between the white base and what's the difference between bright white. there a card or something that will compare them? Or-
There used to be, there's not anymore.